Good morning, everyone. My dear students, as you know, that our new session has started. So we should get up with our studies, right? And that's why we have been publishing the online classes. This is the so we learn today the first lesson of class 11 English course, that is the portrait of a lady. Here, the portrait refers to means portrait means a painting, or you can say photos, pictures in the photo frame, and generally which are hanged on the mantelpiece, or you can say on the wall. And the lady, here lady refers to the grandmother of the writer. So portrait of a lady means here the grandmother's picture has been portrayed or has been painted and hang on the wherever. Whatever. The thing is that the portrait of a lady is written by a famous writer, Khuswant Singh. Khuswant Singh is a well-known figure in English literature. He is an Indian English writer hailing from Punjab, and later on he went to London for higher studies. Khuswant Singh is one of the pioneers in English literature in the contemporary world, you can say. His writings consist of very interesting short stories, poems, and many genres. So, in this chapter, The Portrait of a Lady, Khuswant Singh depicted a relationship and a friendship between him and his grandmother. In this chapter, he shows the establishment of friendship and the relationship, how it develops and how it came to an end. Khuswant Singh says that his grandmother, he is describing his grandmother first. His grandmother is a bit fatty and a bit bent. And he is saying that his grandmother, since he saw her, is old for 20 years. Means since he saw her, he is seeing her old. Means he never seen a young person. He say that her face is crisscross. Her face is totally crisscross with wrinkles. Generally, we say wrinkles means wrinkles. What happens when a person getting old and too much old? Then her not only face, the whole skin of the body get crisscross and got wrinkles. That is why he is saying her face is full of crisscross wrinkles. And she is a very spiritual lady. She believes in God. See what happens? See, her one hand she put on her waist like this. And why she put one hand on her waist? To balance the stoopness. Stoopness is like band. She balances her stoopness with her one hand, and on the other hand she holds a rosary. Rosary here means rosary means Rudraksh ki mala. Have you heard the garland of Rudraksh? Yes, Rudraksh ki mala. She hold on her second hand a Rudraksh ki mala, means a rosary, and telling the beads, and is counting 108 and telling beads in inaudible voice, which cannot be heard. One cannot hear. He is just saying intensely and monotonously, continuously, and describing that his grandmother has a silver lock. Means her silver lock. Is saying her silver lock is scattered untidily on her pale face. Here silver lock. Silver lock means white hair. Her white hair scattered all over her shoulder, and her covered with her pale face. Means she's too old. That why he is saying that pale face. Means her silver lock means her white hair totally covered her shoulder and her even pale face, and she wore a spotless white saree. Spotless white saree means totally white because she was a widow. So her spotless white saree and her silver lock seems as if the landscape of the winter in the mountains. Here landscape in the mountains means you might have seen that in generally winter season, mountains are covered with white snow. The snow are generally white. So so here he is describing his grandmother, that her physique or her means her dress, her everything seems as if she has been covered with white snow, means with ice. Now he says, people say that she was once very attractive, very charming, very pretty. But the writer is saying that, but this thought revolting me, because I never seen her young. I always seen her an old woman with crisscross mark on her face. That was saying, I never believed that she was once a very young and charming, attractive lady. But I must say, she is very beautiful. He is saying, I don't believe that she was once beautiful, once she was very attractive. But I must say, she is very beautiful. Means beautiful always does not denotes the facial beauty. It denotes the spiritual beauty, inner beauty. Means beauty by heart, inside the heart. He is saying, my grandmother is pure gold. She is very beautiful. She is very pure, and she is very, means though she is very old, but she is very beautiful by nature, by heart. Now let's start the story first. This is a description of his grandmother and with the characteristics. Now the story is, the writer is saying, writer means Khuswant Singh is the writer. He is saying, we have been left alone in the village. Means writer has been left with his grandmother in the village when his parents went to city home for settlement. On those days when I was with my grandmother in the village, she used to wake me up every morning. She used to feed me up, she used to bath me up and get me ready for the school. And even she goes to school with me. After breakfast, she just generally takes some stale chapatis. Stale means your basi chapatis, roti. Stale chapatis with her, which she feed in the street while returning from the temple or school. In the street, she feeds some dogs, street dogs, or you can say village dogs. That's why she takes some chapatis. And in the temple also, the priest, they taught us, or they teaches us the alphabets when we loudly speak A, B, C, like this alphabets, whatever in Hindi or English. She used to sit inside the temple and read the scriptures. Scriptures here means spiritual, or you can say dharmic kitab, you can say holy books. She used to read the scriptures while I have been teaching by my teacher, means by a priest of the temple. This way we go on, and after a few days my parents called us to the city because they have already settled and we have been called there to stay together. There also we shared the same room. In the city also, in the city he is saying that me and my grandmother shared the same room. But here the turning point is that she is no longer go to school with me because I have been admitted in English medium school and I go to school in a motor bus. That's why she is no longer can come with me. Anyways, after returning from school, she always asks me that what lesson I have been taught today. I say some English words like law of gravity, Archimedes law, and Newton. These are the words I generally say. She felt very unhappy. The reason is that the reason of feeling unhappy is because she is no longer can help me in my reading. But in village, she used to teach me at home. But here she doesn't know English. That's why she feels unhappy because she cannot teach me now, and there's a gap and distancing is going on. Anyways, and then I go to the university. And while I was in university, she has no one to pass her time. So see what happens. She spin the wheels. Spin the wheels means charkha, which Mahatma Gandhi used to spin to bind the thread. Here also, she used to spin the wheel and bind the thread. And the other time, she feed the sparrows here. Sparrows means here, because there is no street dogs in the city, and she found the sparrows. She loved the sparrows. Their chirpings, their what is called naughtiness, whatever. The chirpings, the sparrows, they comes and they perched on her legs. Perch means sit on her legs, on her shoulders, and even on her head. And she never shoot them away because she loved them. Their chirpings, their sounds, chirping sounds, she loved them. So in this way she passes her time. Then after a few years, I have to go to abroad, means London. In that time, even she doesn't show any sentiment. She never seen any sentiment that I am leaving her for 5 years, because I am going to abroad field. I have to complete the degree in 5 years, and I cannot return within this 5 years. But she doesn't show any sentiment. She doesn't show any depression, anything. She was normal. But when she came to see of me in the station, at the station, she kissed on my forehead. I thought myself that the writer is saying, I thought myself that she's too old and I'm going for 5 years. So might be this is the last time I am meeting her physically. This is my last contact with her. The writer is saying himself inside that this is the last time I see her. After that, I may not. Might be she will be no more. He is thinking like this, but that was not so. The reason, after 5 years from abroad, from London, he came back. When he came back, he found his grandmother is on the station, at the station to receive him. He felt very happy, and they all went to the home. And in the evening, the behavior of his grandmother changes suddenly. What she did? She collected some women from nearby and beating the drums and singing a warrior song. Warrior song means when a warrior comes home after victory, warrior's returning song. That type of song she is singing after when her grandson came back from London. They all try to persuade her that do not take so much strain, because he is beating drum for many hours. So that is why writer's father, writer's mother, and even writer they try to persuade her that not to take so much of strain. It may affect your health. But she didn't listen, and somehow she managed, and the next day she fell ill. Doctor came, treat her, and said, oh, it will be okay, it is a mild fever, she will be okay by tomorrow. But the grandmother, she is saying, my dears, this is my last time, my end is near, I am going. But they don't believe on her. See what happens? She did not say any word to others. She is saying, I don't have time, I have to bead my rosary. And she took the rosary on her hand and laid on the bed and telling the beads in inaudible voice continuously. But before the writer and the writer, his father and mother, they expect anything, her lips, inaudible voice, lips, they stopped moving, and the rosary which she held fallen down from her lifeless fingers. Like his fingers here means she is no more, she is dead. So the sea has been covered with a red shroud. Red shroud. Shroud means in Hindi it is called kafan. Okay, na? Kafan. His sea has been covered with a red shroud. And as per the customary, she has been taken to the ground on the veranda. So thousands of sparrows came there, and today there is no chirping sound. All the sparrows are silent. They scattered everywhere, but they are totally silent. Not a single sound of chirping. They can also understand that their loved one who used to feed them is no more. They also said tears. Means and her writer's mother, what she did, she took some pieces of bread and threw to them for feeding, but they took no notice, because they are also getting sad. They are also feeling deeply that even they can understand that their loved one is no more. And later on, the dead body of her grandmother has been taken away as per the rites, to do the last rites, or you can say for the cremation. The dead body has been taken away for the cremation, and all the birds, they all fled away silently without any sound. And the next morning, the bread pieces which have been thrown for the sparrows were washed out and thrown to the dustbin. So this way the lesson ends. Here, what we understand? We understand that the grandmother, a person has a strong relationship, a strong bondness between her and her grandson, means the writer. Also, her and the sparrows, means a friendship can be happen, or a relationship can be happen not between two persons, but between two things, but between two anything. Yes, this is the moral of the story, that a strong bondness can be happen with anyone. It's not positive, not needed, it is not necessary, not mandatory that only two persons can have a strong relationship. Clear? Okay, thank you very much. One more thing. The portrait of a lady here. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, dear students, so these are the few words which you should know to read the lesson thoroughly. The first one is silver lock. I have already told you, silver lock here refers to the white hair of the grandmother. Now perched means to sit. The sparrows used to sit on her legs, on her shoulders, and even on her head. And scriptures here, the holy writings, like holy books, she used to read in the temple. Stale means made earlier. You can say basi, basi roti, the stale chapatis. Harlots here, prostitutes. She believes that music is associated with lewd associations. They are the monopoly of harlots, means prostitutes, and the beggars. So these are the few words which you should by heart. Then, for you, these are the few questions which you have to answer and have to write to me. The first is, write the character sketch of grandmother. I have already told you the grandmother's sketch, total sketch. Her grandmother has crisscross face, wrinkles. As you know, all the grandmothers, if a person getting too much old, she or he has not only face but also the whole body, the skin of the whole body getting wrinkles. So, and his grandmother has silver lock and white hair and what is called spotless sari she used to wear, which seems as if the landscape of the winter in the mountains, totally white, covered with snow as the mountains. And number two, what is the turning point of their relationship? Where is the turning point of relationship? The turning point is when in the city, when the writer used to go to the English medium school. When he has been admitted in the English medium school, he used to go in a motor bus. She is no longer can go with him for school, and that relationship and the distancing, the gapping is getting further. Number third, why the sparrows did no notice of the bread pieces? Because the sparrows, they came to know that their loved ones, means their loved one is who feed them always, is no more, is dead, and they also felt very deeply. That is why they took no notice to the bread pieces and fled away silently, without any chirpings, without any sound. So these are the questions which you have to write. Okay, thank you very much.